Ambassador, I want to come to the plot to assassinate Pannu. Could you tell me a little bit about where the investigation is and where India and the US are on this?
Right. So a couple of things. One, this is another piece of evidence of how strong and close our relationship really is. I mean, it's almost unthinkable a few years ago that we would be coordinating together to hold accountable on both sides of our borders criminal action, whether it was the attack in San Francisco or something like this that has been alleged. I'm not the criminal justice investigator of this, so I can't comment on what nor would we comment publicly on what our criminal investigation is uncovering, and that's something that's separate from our diplomatic track. We keep that. That's a police, that's a FBI, that's a federal law enforcement, and ultimately U.S. Attorney's Office investigation held very tightly. But I will say that I was very pleased that India put together this commission of inquiry, put senior people who are experienced in law enforcement on that, and that they have been digging in on this side domestically to uncover any evidence that would show a murder-for-hire plot that included anybody who was from the Indian government. I think that's absolutely critical. For any of us, just abstractly, that has to be a red line. No government or government employee can be involved in the alleged assassination of one of your own citizens. That's just an unacceptable red line, and I think that shows the seriousness
one of your own
with which
citizens is one of
the alleged plot is against an American citizen.
So your citizen.
Exactly, the U.S. citizen, and I say that in abstract ways. The same thing would happen if there was an American plot against some sort of or an American government person who was trying to assassinate somebody in another country or was a part of that. That would be an unacceptable red line for any nation.
That would be an American living in India.
Hypothetically, I'm not speaking of...
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to...
Before the conspiracy theorists say there's something out there, I'd say any country, having an active member of their government involved in a second country trying to assassinate one of their citizens. That's, I think, usually a red line for any country. That's a basic issue of sovereignty. That's a basic issue of rights. And I'm very pleased. Again, this is, to use the metaphor before, if we have this incredible friendship, even marriage right now, this was maybe one of the first big conflicts, and we're actually not only coming through it, I think, strongly, but so far, everything that's been asked of the Indian government has been done, and I would say vice versa. Whenever there is accusations the other direction, we take that incredibly seriously.
You spoke about the major conflict. I think ever since you have come to India, this is probably the biggest conflict situation that you've dealt with, isn't it? The Pannun case.
And I always say, look, the test of a friendship, the test of a relationship is not the easy times, but the difficult ones. And I think not only are we passing new tests, going over the largest hurdles we ever have in terms of opportunities, but challenges were actually, whether they're global challenges together, differences of opinions in the multilateral space, global events, or things that are bilateral like this, India and the U.S. are showing their resilience and that we really want this relationship for the long haul. So as we learn each other's systems, as we have momentary conflicts, if we can get through these, I think it's a great thing for the world.
Is this hurdle going to hamper India-US relations in any manner?
I don't believe so. In fact, I've said the pace of work for every conspiracy theorist who said, oh, it was going so well, and then at the end of the year, this is a hiccup. So we haven't slowed down one bit. In fact, we've accelerated our work on education. We've accelerated our work on technology. We've accelerated our work on military relations. We've accelerated our work on trade. These things are even going faster than ever. So while this is an incredibly important principle for us, it's an incredibly important issue for us. So far, like I said, we've been satisfied with the coordination on this particular issue, and it hasn't slowed a single thing down.
Click here to watch the full episode.